You have the power to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. Don't underestimate yourself. You don't know enough about yourself to become a cynic. And so you've got to challenge yourself to access that power that you have within you. You're more than a conqueror.
You are a much more interesting person than you give credit for, because you're trying to act, trying to fit into the group and be what other people want you to be.
Yeah.
And you know, we all want the power to change ourselves, right? That's why self-help books do so well.
Yeah.
But you can't begin to change yourself in any meaningful way until you confront who you really are. You know, if you go out in public and you don't look in a mirror, your hair you're gonna look really weird,
Yeah.
right? You can't begin to improve your looks until you look in the mirror. You can't begin to change yourself until you look into that mirror of who you really are, all that other stuff that you don't want to confront.
Most of us, we live in a box, and we don't want to go outside that box at all, ever. Outside that box is all these possibilities of life. I now know that there is no cap on the human mind. There's no cap. We cap it ourselves.
In the biblical stories, Abraham basically hangs around his dad's tent till he's like 80. He's one of these guys that fails to launch, in a big way. God eventually gets sick and tired of him and says, get the hell out there into the world and have a life. And so he does. He leaves his father's tent and his community and his country. And then he goes out and has an adventure. But, the first thing he encounters is a famine, and then he encounters a tyranny, and then he encounters a bunch of people in the tyrannical state that want to take his wife. And so you can imagine that Abraham's response to that is it was a hell of a lot better sitting in my dad's tent playing video games. But what's cool about that story, what I realized was that was a call to adventure. People need a load, and we need adversity, and we need difficulty. We need all of that. Dostoevsky knew this, because when he wrote Notes from Underground, what Dostoevsky said was that, human beings are these very peculiar creatures, and if you gave us a utopia so that we had nothing to do but eat cake and busy ourselves with the continuation of the species, that the first thing we do is smash it all to bits just so that something unexpected and troublesome would happen, because we're built for adventure and not for peace and happiness. One of the things that's really freeing to understand is that you're screwed no matter what you do. There's no secure path forward. Give it up. It's risk everywhere, except for two things. You can pick your risk. That's the first thing. So you get to pick your poison. That's something. And second, you're a lot tougher than you think. So even though there's risk everywhere, if you confront it forthrightly, what you'll find is that you can actually handle the risk. Well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. It's like you're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. And you might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking. Yeah. And if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years, you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older. So I'm telling young people, look, no matter how bad your situation is, I'm not going to pretend it's okay. It's not okay. It's tragic, tainted with malevolence. And some people really get hurt by malevolent people, terribly hurt. Sometimes they never recover. It's really awful. But there's more to you than you think. And if you stand up and face it with a positive, with a noble vision, with discipline and intent, you can go far farther to overcoming it than you can imagine.
If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
It's either you have it or you don't.
That sounds like excuses to me. I mean, you got to figure it out. If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out. Every puzzle is constructed differently. Everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle.
I don't know how to start improving my life. Someone might say that. And I would say, well, you're not aiming low enough. There's something you could do that you are regarding as trivial, that you could do, that you would do, that would result in an actual improvement. But it's not a big enough improvement for you, so you won't lower yourself enough to take the opportunity. Yeah. You don't go and, if you haven't bench pressed before, you don't put 400 pounds on the bar and drop the bar through your skull. Aim low. And I don't mean don't aim. And I don't mean don't aim up. So a small step today puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day. And then that puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day. And you do that for 2 or 3 years, man, you're starting to stride.
You can't handle the big challenges in life unless you take on the little ones. Make a list of all the things you can do. Get right on those. Discipline yourself for those, both for the results and for the muscle and for the practice. So that when life hands you some big challenges, you'll be ready, you'll have the muscle.
If you have any fraction of self-discipline, the ability to not want to do it but still do it, that's the most powerful thing in the world.
I don't care how good you are in anything, you don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
You're nothing without discipline, because you give up on the slightest struggle without discipline. Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Ask yourself what's holding you back, and usually it's the quality of self-discipline or it's a skill. Now, one of the things that changed my life forever was when I learned that all business skills are learnable. You don't have to be a genius to learn any business skill. You can learn any form of technology. You can take a person who's basically shoe polished and teach them how to be technologically superior enough to earn a living from it. And so I say, what one skill, if you are absolutely excellent at it in your business, would help you the most to double your income? What one business skill?
A lot of people are afraid of failure, and so they never try anything in life. They never attempt that project, they never write that book, they never start that podcast, because they're afraid that if they do, they're going to fail. And failing is a worse feeling than actually just kind of withdrawing from the world. Yeah. So you have to now force yourself, it's not easy, to actually try and execute all those projects that are in your mind. Yeah. But you have to do it with baby steps. You have to try something small first, and overcome your fear of failure.
You're not going to score on every shot.
Right.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't take the shots. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try to hit the goal. But part of being able to continue to take shots is to have the strength of character to tolerate the fact that in that instance you weren't on top.
You fall, and you're probably going to fall. You just get back up. Once you get up from laying in the gutter, whatever your gutter is, for months and weeks and years at a time, when you get up, that doesn't mean you're never going to fall back down again. What it means is you got up the one time, it means you can get up the next time, and the next time, and the next time. And you keep getting up until you don't fall anymore. Okay? So you be patient, you be consistent, and don't quit. Don't quit.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Where's passion when you're 300 pounds? Where's the motivation when you can't read and write? Where is it? So how did this happen? I just fucking did. I just did. I said, maybe at the end of this journey, there'll be something there for me. If not, I can read. All those words are overused. They're bullshit. It's all bullshit. Just do. You're living. How do you want to live? How do you want to die? How do you want to fucking be remembered? That's it.
Why would you not go for it? Why would you not take a chance? At one point in time, you got to take a chance on you.
Michael Jordan, I remember I interviewed him years ago, and I said, what makes you the best in the world? Is it skill? Is it talent? Is it ability? Is it background? Is it training? He said, I didn't even make the high school basketball team my sophomore year. I was cut. He said, what it is every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could possibly expect. I don't compete with other people. I compete with what I'm capable of. And it's just like, that kind of standard is inspiring.